Okay, fine.
Hi Dinesh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Deepak.
I met Dinesh at IBM Bangalore. We were together in training, and after training, we were allocated different projects. Dinesh, I'm doing this interview for two reasons. One is I'm assigned a task at NITTR Bhopal in which I'm asked to prepare a video interview of an entrepreneur. And second reason is later I'm going to share this video with my students to motivate them to go for entrepreneurship. So then is my first
Okay.
question to you is, uh, tell me something about your company.
So, Confirm Ticket actually started 5 years ago, and the main reason for us to start is like both of us, me and my co-founder Sripad, we are finding difficult in finding train tickets to travel. So that's where we thought, like, looking at the all the available options. So what happens is most of the times, like 40% of the cases, tickets are on wait list. So it's a huge problem actually. Then we found out a pattern wherein like some of the trains for certain types of wait list it used to get confirmed. So that was the whole idea. How do we just predict whether the ticket gets confirmed or not? Certain wait list gets confirmed or not. That's how the first version of the product came in with a simple feature saying like, if there are 10 trains there, and out of them everything is on wait list, we tell you that in train number three it has highest chance of confirmation. You can go ahead and book. And 90% of the cases, if it is in green color, and I mean like more than 90% chance that we show, it used to get confirmed. And that actually added a lot of value to the users, and we are the first ones to launch. So there's a lot of demand during that time, and people rush to the platform. We actually built it as a part-time project, me and my co-founder. We never thought that it will become a company actually. Then because a lot of users are coming in and they are seeing value, we started seeing like almost like at least like 10-20,000 users every day using the app, right? App and website. So that's how we thought like, okay, let's take it to the next level, and we went full time into this. And we hired 2-3 people, and then we raised a round of funding to make sure we put this rolling. And that's how it all started. And there are a lot of and now currently the Confirm Ticket is in a state where we have like 4 million monthly active users using it. That is like 40 lakh monthly active users using it. And we also partnered with railways to do train ticketing on the platform, where we sell tickets almost like 20,000 tickets a day. That's roughly constitutes 250 to 60 crore a month, right? And it's one of the top three platforms in India for train ticket booking as of now. And it's a highly seamless app where highest rated app, like we have 4.5 rating and more than 10 million downloads on Play Store. And almost like 40 employees working out of Bangalore. It's a lean team. We make sure like a lot of I mean the team structure is very lean, and everybody reports to it's a flat structure. And we make sure everyone is motivated to take it to the next level.
How did you come up with the name for company?
Okay, confirmed ticket actually. We were just, I mean, it was like one. We were just thinking of what we should name it, and we wanted something that connects to the travel actually, right? So travel inside train travel, right? What is the and also the problem that we are trying to solve. So the problem is how do we get a ticket to travel, right? So that's where a lot of users always talk about confirmed ticket and all. That's how the confirmed ticket name came in, but we didn't get the domain confirmtkt.com at that stage. So we shortened that and made it confirmtkt.com. And that's how we took the domain confirmtkt. So the company became confirmtkt. We always wanted a confirm ticket, so it was
Okay.
confirmtkt. And 3 years into the journey, we actually bought the other domain also. Confirmtkt.com also belongs to us. We paid a lakh rupees to get that. But initially we were unable to afford that, so we got adjusted to the confirmtkt.com, and that's how the company started.
Dinesh, we know that in India there is a dearth of jobs. Uh, I want to know what prompted you to leave your job and go for entrepreneurship. Like,
So right
what
from
was the
the
main reason?
beginning, so the main reason is like right from the beginning, wanted to build something, right? Wanted to build and make my own company was always there. And in my company, I mean, like when I joined my second company, like 09 Solutions from IBM, And in the interview also they asked me, where will you see yourself in 10 years from now? And I said that maybe 3-4 years I'll stay here, and in 10 years I'll actually be in my own company. Actually, I am actually so. This is it actually happened. So basically, it's like always wanted to do something. Is not that. So being in a job is always a good thing, right? But if you wanted to try out something, it's always good time to try out once. I mean, failure is always an option. It is always uh, you have, if you already know that it's okay, any day you can go back and join your job. That's already there. So it's always good that if you want to try something, you can try it out. That's what we kept. Like when my other co-founder, he was working in US. I mean, like he's getting very good pay. I was working in a product company, and we were getting good pay. But we thought, let's try it out. Let's, because for us the main advantage is, even when we are directly in jobs, we launch this as a part-time project, right? And for us, we see tremendous value because a lot of users are rushing onto the platform. And by the time we moved full time, the platform is already very very popular. And it's just that we know that it's actually it's time to scale it up. And that's how we took it to the next level, and we put our bets. Like, I mean, that I think it's going to work. And that's how it is. There'll be a lot of challenges in between. There'll be, I think, like 50 to 100 times you would have felt like, why did I leave my job? This should have been better. uh,
I will, I
those
will,
things are
I
there.
will ask, I will ask challenges, later. You will have to
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. Sure. So
My next
that's
question is, what makes your company unique?
so the see thing is, it's always about innovating, right? So the first thing when we launched, we were having waitlist prediction. That's the unique feature that we have. And slowly and then we launched. We felt like that's not actually solving the problem, because the number of tickets are limited. Even if we predict, we can only give 500 seats or 1,000 seats to the people, because if 2,000 people are looking for only 500 seats, even if we predict, we can always give those 500 seats, but we cannot increase the inventory, right? That's where the next version of the product, what it does is, like, it tries to break your journey, and it tries to give you alternative options. What it does is, like, let's say Bangalore, Hyderabad, if you are searching, if tickets are not directly available, it tries to check in two compartments and tries to give you a ticket to travel. And that's how you get ticket to travel. That's why we also combine a train, so you get more. I mean, the inventory itself has increased now, so 20% more inventory you see on Confirmtkt when compared to any other platform like IRCTC, right? So people coming onto the platform, they see that value. They see that I get more tickets to travel here. That's why I need to come here, and that's how it all works.
Okay. And how do you handle investors and funding issue in your company?
So basically, the investments are something where uh, so we raised two rounds of funding. Both of them were raised in the beginning stages, where in 2015 we raised the angel round. But as soon as when we are in our jobs and doing this part time, we were still engaged with everybody. Like, we were talking to multiple guys on these things. I think we would have approached like 50 people and all, but one of them worked out. They say, like, okay, you guys come out of jobs, I think I can invest this much amount. So that's how it all started. Then post 6 months, we actually needed one more round of funding, because both these rounds happened when we were having zero revenue. We always wanted to keep the platform without any ads or anything. Just the users were coming in. For first 2 years, it was zero revenue. There is no ads, nothing. And we wanted to keep it sleek. We wanted to focus on building more value to the users. And zero revenue, both the rounds were raised when we were zero revenues. But so the most important thing that investors value is, like, there are certain business where you need revenue. There are certain businesses where user base will come. So there are few things, like, and finally it boils down to the same thing, that whether you are creating value to the end customer or not. So if you are creating value to the end customer, there is always somebody who is willing to invest in you. So majority of the investment in the initial rounds happens on the people. So these initial investors actually see me or Sripad, like, how do you take this company forward, right? The 3-4 years down the line, it might be altogether a different thing than what you're working. If you look at the first version of the product in 2014 or 15, confirmed ticket is a lot different now. So you find more into transactions now, right? So it keeps evolving. So 5 years from now it might be a lot different, and it keeps evolving. It's just that the founders more, they value the founders more than the product actually. Initial rounds happen on the people, so that's how it is. So you need to make sure you convince the other person. It's almost like you're finding your life partner or something. And yeah, that's how it is. Like you just life partner is, I would relate more to a co-founder actually, because you spend more time with him through this journey. But I mean, yeah, investor you can think of like a employment or a job. If you keep searching and if you attend 50 to 100 interviews, something might work out. It's similar to that, I would say.
You were talking about challenges. Now, my next question to you is: what were the biggest challenges you faced while building Confirmtkt.com?
So the initial challenges were like we were I mean, it's very difficult to hire initial employees where like when you are just 2 to 3 people in the company and you're working out of a 1 BHK apartment or something, people can just come and look at you and say, we just run away, right? They don't want to join something which looks like 1 BHK, and there are just hardly 2 to 3 people. And people have some notion in their mind that a company is a corporate building or anything. But if but startup is a lot different. I mean, like, so initially we, for the first employees, we had difficulty in hiring everybody who used to come. We used to screen them, and then they don't turn up actually. And one of the employee who joined in the morning, he left in the evening only. so so there are certain challenges for the hiring in the beginning. And once we cross that land, I mean, like, the thing with hiring, once you cross the 10 employees, it's a good thing. I mean, once you cross 10 employees, I think it will be easier to hire. Hiring won't be an issue at that stage. And once you cross the 10 employees, for us the biggest challenges came in with the revenue. We were not focusing on the revenue at much early stage. As I mean, I would say it's business as well as this thing. But I think that when if you ask me to go back and fix this thing, I would always say we would have at least focused at least like 10% of our time on revenue also. Because funding, we were always dependent on funding for the growth or anything. Once our second round happened, we did not even think of business and kept on building stuff and making sure things. And once the funding tap dried out, we were like, we have no clue what to do at this stage, because we have salaries to pay and everything, and there is no and we need to get the new investment, which was not happening at that stage. And that's where we actually figured out like, how do we make money now and sit and do things at that stage. And that's how it all worked out. And it's like a good journey after that, like.
And what are
So
the projections? You wanted to say something?
no, you can go ahead, it's fine.
And what are the projections that your company targets to achieve in next 2 years?
So basically, I mean, like, we're now matured, so I would only talk about financial goals actually. So this last financial year, 1920, we almost like crossed 20 crore in revenue, net revenue, and almost 250 crore of worth of tickets are booked on Confirm Ticket for the entire financial year,
Great.
and 2 crore profit we did last financial year. And going forward, this year and next year, our targets were somewhere around 70 crore and 150 crore for next 2 years. But since this COVID have impacted the travel a lot, we would maybe that percentage might drop by 50%. Maybe like instead of doing 70, we might do 35 to 40, and we can push that goal to the next year to 70 to 100 crores revenue. And that way it moves. I mean, like, this is something unexpected, which nobody expected. So we can, it's a special case, the COVID issue, as that's what happening now. But it's a
You
thing that
didn't
actually.
forecast this. Sorry to interrupt you. Did you forecast such kind of like thing that the world will be faced with COVID-19 situation?
We haven't. We have always. I mean, this is not expected actually. But we were lucky that we have money in the bank, and the same thing. If it happened last year, it would have been much worse for us, because this is the first year we have good amount of money in the bank. We made sure, no, we have not fired any of the employees of the company. And it's luckily many of them are, they have taken pay cuts and all. and made sure the company just keeps moving. And that's an important thing in the journey, wherein employees and company, I mean, they need to have the empathy and work with the company, right? So that's how it all happens.
And my last question to you: what advice would you give to my students who are interested in starting their own business?
I would say, yeah, I would say you. So there are multiple things, right? You can start randomly, but I would always say you work at a startup for 2 years, and you will actually understand majority of the things, and that's the right time to start. I think there are a lot of people who actually can start directly from college and may have achieved a lot of success. But I would say working at a startup will give you a lot of experience on how do you actually have handle a lot of verticals or work with. I mean, join a startup where there are less than 10 employees. That's a good time where if you're willing to start a company, and again, if, at the same time, if you don't have enough bank balance or something to back you, it's always good to do that. And also, once you jump into startup, right, I mean, there are a lot of need. I mean, I thought in 6 months I'll keep getting salary and all once I left my job, but that got elongated till 2 years, right? 2 years to 3 years. So always make sure, I mean, always keep this in mind that this is not a short journey. So it might take 3 years or 4 years or 5 years for things to get settled, and you should be ready for that. There will be a lot of issues. So most of the startups die for a simple reason, that founders give up, right? So you need to make sure personally you should not give up at some certain point. So that you need to make sure somebody, even for personally me and Sripal, like our families backed a lot, right? A lot of, along with you, your families also suffer a bit because of startup and all, right? So you need to make sure everything is taken care because you jump before you jump into this thing. And it's okay. I mean, it's a journey where you will enjoy, and it's always you always, yeah, make what people want, and that will actually take it forward, nothing else actually. If somebody is willing to pay you or come back to your platform, then that's a good thing for you actually.
One last question. Like, our current government promotes startup culture. Did you get any support from government institution during your journey?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, so one of the so government actually helped a lot. I mean, also being in Bangalore actually helped us a lot actually, and a lot of investors and everybody stays in Bangalore. So I have a lot of, it's easy to get talent also, employees also in Bangalore. And one of our funding round actually happened through NASCOM forums. On, like, I mean, one of the NASCOM events that they have, startup events that they conducted. We met our investors there only, and that's a good thing actually, right? Creating that ecosystem and this thing. And there are a lot of things like even the startup certificates that you get from DPIIT. They can be used at multiple places. Like even if you get any income tax notice or anything, we can actually if you have this support from government, you can actually not you don't need to worry much about all of these things, and focus on your company. And there are multiple things. I mean, I think we started before 2016, but companies who started after 2016, there are much more provisions in ESOPs policies, and a lot of other provisions are there which they can utilize actually. So it's a good thing that a lot of things government is encouraging, and you can actually do a lot of stuff.
Dinesh, thank you for your time. It was nice talking to you.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, me too.